Thank you for joining us today at Homestead for Life. Today, we are going to look at our water glass eggs and see how they're doing. I just found these in the back of my pantry. They're supposed to be good for a year, and it's been a little over 2 years. 2 years and 2 months. So we are going to float test them, and if they test well, we're throwing them in the pan and cooking them up. Let's see. Okay, so we have chickens, as you may know or suspect. So sometimes you never know how long eggs have been out in the run when you find them, where they're not supposed to be. So I always float test my eggs before I cook with them. Already opening this up, it is not the loveliest smell. And that egg is floating. That one looks a little rough in here too, though. And that one's fine. And that one's fine. So the one at the top, which had kind of its noggin a little stuck out of the water a little bit, or at the very top of the water, that's the one so far that's floating. And it's something about the bacteria in the egg when they go bad that makes them float. Oh, we've got another floater. Something about the bacteria. I am not a scientist. Don't really want to be. But I know enough to not crack the bad eggs and have to... Ooh, yep, that one cracked in the char. That cracked. It's out of the shell. Yeah. That's going to go in a doggy doo-doo bag so I don't have to smell it until trash day. Another floater. Ooh. You can see the water's getting cloudy. There's some, yep, that's just the lime and bad egg in the bottom there. So not too bad though. We lost 4 eggs. I think that's part of the one that I stuck my finger into. And we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 good ones after over 2 years. But let's check it out. Let's cook them up. See how it goes. So before I start cracking them into this bowl and whipping them up, because I'm weird and only like scrambled eggs. So we're rinsing them and rinsing them and rinsing them and rinsing them to get all this lime off, because I'm sure it's on my hands, for one, but I want to make sure that none of it gets into my eggs when I cook them. And in my pouring them out, I cracked another egg, and now it's floating. So I don't think I'm going to eat that one either. I'm not looking for food poisoning this week. These are a little bit past how long water glass eggs are supposed to be good for. It's probably good since it was fine before it cracked, but not worth it. So that is kind of a runny, nasty looking egg, but that happens sometimes anyway. It does tend to happen the less fresh your eggs are. That one had a yolk till it hit the bottom. So those were kind of mixed and beat up already, but now they're blended a little better. Let's throw them in the pan. All right, our tallow's heated up in the pan, and we are ready to get cooking. So there's no real smell to these eggs. The color and the texture is like cooking a whole dozen of old but still good eggs. They're cooking up like normal eggs. So what I added in here is moringa. I add moringa to scrambled eggs every weekend, and cheese. So I'm not a huge fan of the taste of moringa. It kind of just tastes like a leaf, but the health benefits are incredible. I strongly suggest adding it to your diet just for the nutritional benefits. I can tell you it has a lot of, if not weight loss, healthy weight benefits. Not enough to counteract Chick-fil-A and Starbucks, so here we are. But it is still a hugely beneficial plant. Strongly recommend it. And then once you start adding it in with food, you can't really taste it. So if you are not big on that leafy taste, salads are fine. Don't get me wrong. Salads are fine. You just got to add cheese. But if you're not big on that taste, just add it to some food. It's not a strong taste once you put it into anything else. I normally can't taste it. So on a medium heat, they are cooking up like eggs. A little bit runnier and less clumpy than your average eggs, even after I've scrambled them. And I do always scramble them with an immersion blender because it's super fast and I'm super lazy. And I also usually cook up, 18 to 24 eggs at a time because I'm super lazy. If I'm cooking, it's got to last me a few days. So that gives me leftovers. So they look like eggs. They smell like eggs. Still a little hot. Need some cheese. But they taste like eggs. So I wouldn't recommend waiting so long. And while they are supposed to stay good for up to 18 months, these are acceptable at 26 months. They pass the float test. They smell like eggs. They taste like eggs. The texture is not quite right. Not like powdered eggs. Like if you've ever had powdered eggs, you've eaten in most hotel chains, you've had powdered eggs. They're different, but about as off as powdered eggs are from fresh eggs is how much these are off from fresh eggs. Just kind of off in a different direction. But that's it. Probably don't wait this long, but water glassed eggs, they lasted 2 years. So sweet. Thank you for joining us today at Homestead for Life.